What is going on, Stacking the Box? My name is Mike Luciano, and I am here with the best chef in the NFL, former NFL defensive back, Food Network star winner, MasterChef contestant, TV personality, and better cook than probably all of our thousands of subscribers put together, Eddie Jackson. Thank you, Eddie, for joining us here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was a great introduction, by the way. Could have did it better myself.
Well, let's start. I can already tell it's going to be a good interview. So, Eddie has one of the most unique paths to culinary stardom, I would say, probably in the history of the Food Network. He started out in the NFL, 2 years with Miami, and he ends up on New England on that famous 2007 team. So
Oh yeah.
he has the honor of having been coached by Nick Saban and Bill Belichick back to back, which you want to talk about two coaches that ask a lot of your players. I think they count. So just tell us what it was like coming into the NFL, undrafted guy out of
Uh,
Arkansas, Pig Suey. All right. You go to Miami, you get Nick Saban right off the bat, and then you get Bill Belichick
yeah.
right.
Yeah, it was that was a little bit crazy. I went to Carolina first as an undrafted free agent, played there for a year or so. Then I went to Miami for a couple of years and I played under Nick Saban. And Nick Saban, I had never been around Nick Saban. I played against him in college because I went to the University of Arkansas and he was a coach at LSU. And that was the reason why he picked me to come to Miami is because I used to play against him all the time and he really loved me. And so I go play for him and I had never had a coach that intense in my life. And it was just great to see the way he worked and his preparation and approach to the game because it was something that I'd never seen before out of all the coaches that I had ever had. And then after that, I go to New England, and Bill Belichick was the exact same way. And at the time, I didn't know that they actually worked together back in the day. They coached together, and they came up under Bill Parcells, and that's why their coaching styles are so similar. And I never knew that until after I left the Patriots. I put two and two together. So they're very similar coaches in the way that they approach the game.
Of course, before that, you were over at Arkansas. I believe Houston Nutt was there when you were over at Arkansas. I believe
Yeah, Houston Nutt.
Jason Peters was on that team. So
Yeah,
a lot of really good Arkansas guys. Probably one of the glory years for Arkansas, that kind of mid 2000s period.
yeah, oh yeah.
As a Razorback alum, where do you think things stand right now with Arkansas? Just because I remember they had that down period, kind of the beginning
Yep,
part of the decade where they were just, I mean, they were
yep.
winning two games every year. Now it seems like they got a little bit of momentum. They're starting to build something here.
Yeah, so while I was at Arkansas, we were really, really good. Went to a couple of SEC championships, and after I left, when Darren McFadden and Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis and all those guys came, really great teams. I think McFadden was up for a Heisman. Then we had a little low period, but we're starting to get it back. We got Coach Petrino back. Really young team, but I mean, we just beat Tennessee, so we're starting to get it back. And I think we're just going to keep building off of that momentum, having a pretty good year this year. And I just think we're going to start building and building and building.
I want to say Matt Jones was on that team too, if I remember correctly. The
Yeah,
Jaguars
Mac Jones.
guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've had an interest in cooking your whole life, and a lot of football players have interest in food and cooking and business and things like that. But
Yeah.
was there when you were playing even maybe a light bulb moment where you knew, all right, I have kind of a limited amount of time in football. I'm
Yeah.
going to go become not only a chef, but a TV star and
Yeah.
a restaurant. Like, when did that light bulb go off? Was it when you were playing?
Well, I've always cooked. I've always been around food. I grew up cooking with my grandmothers. My grandmothers were chefs. And so I kind of always been around it and loved it. And so when I was in college, this is kind of when the light bulb went off. I was like, hey, if this football thing doesn't ever work out for me, I can do something with food. And so I actually used to sell plates to my teammates when I was in college for $5. And so in Arkansas, there wasn't a lot of places that had good home cooked meals. And so I would make like meatloaf and potatoes and fried chicken and all these different things. Whatever they wanted, I would make, and then I would sell it to them for $5. Because before that, I was just giving it to them for free. And my dad was like, hey, man, we don't have that much money. You can't just keep feeding everybody. So I found out a way to make a little bit of money and also do what I love to do, and that was cooking. And that's when I was like, you know what? I think I can do something with this.
And I'd say it's worked out. Master Chef, Food Network
Yeah.
star. I want to say this just as a personal, like, I want to get it out. Like, as a Master Chef viewer, like, take us a little behind the scenes. Like, how How real is that show? How intense is that show? Stuff that maybe the cameras maybe don't see.
Well, the show is real. The MasterChef is definitely real. But let me say this: I never had any intention on being on TV cooking. I just wanted to do something with food. Whether that was a restaurant catering, I started doing like catering and things like that. And I didn't even think I could be on TV. I never went to culinary school. Everything that I've done, and I've gotten to where I got because I've been self-taught. But MasterChef was something that I actually didn't even try to do. My girlfriend, which is my wife right now at the time, she actually entered me into MasterChef, and they didn't tell me about it. I just got a call one day. It was like, "Hey, are you going to come down for this audition and be on MasterChef?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So I ended up going
Wait
to
a
this.
minute.
Yeah, seriously, I went to this MasterChef audition, never seen the show before in my life, and I ended up making it on the show. And I think I got all the way down to like top 5 or 6. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do something on TV. And then after that, I did Food Network Star, and I won. And I was like, well, you know what? I think I may be on to something. And then look where we're at now.
You're gonna make us all feel shame as I go and just reheat just leftovers, and then I got Eddie Jackson judging me. Eddie, really quick though, because it is football season. I'm sure everybody's got their tailgate plan. I think everybody thinks they know best with
Yep.
these tailgate plans.
Yeah.
What's like a good low cost hack that could take your tailgate from okay to wow, this is Eddie Jackson level one?
Great question. So, tips. So, I'm always giving tips. I have a cookbook that's all about tailgating, home gating. It's called Game Day Eats, Home Gating Like a Pro. And so, what I like to do is tell people, I'm like, keep it casual. Don't worry about like all the crazy decorations. Just focus on the food and the drinks. And you could keep things really, really simple, but add just little tweaks to it, little upgrades, if you will, just to take your something simple to the next level. Food and drinks. So in this case, we're talking about the drinks, right? Tailgating is my favorite time of the year. You're around your friends, family, you're rooting on your team. And so I partnered up with Boda Box. And let me tell you this, I got some of this stuff at my house that they sent me, and I've just been in love with it because it tastes amazing. But I think it's something perfect that you can take to the tailgate. It has a nice handle on the top of it, but the quality of it is so fantastic. It's like something you would have like a high-end dinner, but now you're taking it to the tailgate. But once you open the box, it lasts for 30 days. It stays fresh for 30 days. So you may not go through the whole box because this is 4 bottles in this 3-liter box. You may not go through it all in one sitting, but it's going to be fresh for the next tailgate. But then they have so many different styles of this wine that's great to pair with, cook with, and do different things with. And that's kind of what I've done for this spread right here today.
Because whenever I end up at tailgating, I feel like people always try to like outsmart everybody, and they're gonna show,
Yeah.
oh, let me make this
Keep it
super
simple.
artist. Exactly. And then you're just like, man, I want a good burger. I feel like
Yeah.
that art is lost now. Eddie
Yeah.
Jackson
Well,
here can show you to do it though.
yeah, so here's the thing. So people automatically think of beer when it comes to tailgating, bring a 6-pack. And I'm like, no, let's take it up a notch. Once you bring a nice box of wine, man, it's 4 bottles in here, economic, eco-friendly, all these different things. But let's talk about these recipes that I have. So I have some bratwurst that I braise in white wine. And so normally when you think of bratwurst, you think about beer braise. Bratwurst. But in this case, I'm going to take some of this Boda Box white wine, and we're going to braise those bratwursts in, and that crispness of the wine is going to cut through the fattiness and that richness that bratwurst has, right? And then you just mentioned it, burgers. Simple, right? You see it all the time at a tailgate, but we're just going to make a little tweak to it. I made this jerk ketchup that's sweet, spicy, and smoky as well, and that's going to kind of take your traditional simple sliders to the next level. So you have something simple, but just this one little tweak going to add high flavor to it. And then lastly, come on, you got to have wings at a tailgate, right?
You gotta.
You got to have wings. It's the perfect one-hander. And so what I've done is, and this is specific recipe that I created for Boda Box. And so this is kind of like an Asian-style wing that's going to be sweet, smoky, has some spice elements to it with the gochujang, which is the fermented pepper paste. And that's going to be paired with a like a red blend wine that they have. It's called Revolution. And that's going to kind of bounce off of those sweet and smoky notes that they have with the recipe that I created for them.
And that's the kind of stuff right there. If you want to just be a god among your friends for the next 10 years, you bring that stuff to a tailgate, and for the next 10 years, you are the tailgate king. Eddie Jackson, former NFL player, MasterChef contestant, Food Network star winner, TV personality, amazing chef. Eddie, thank you for not only taking the time to answer some questions here today, but to show us all these great recipes with Photo Box and all these great wings and burgers that you can use to just dominate your tailgate.
Yeah, thanks, man. And make sure check out the recipes that I created for BodaBox. You can go to bodabox.com/football. You'll find those chicken wing recipes, but also get some more information about the brand because I think it's something perfect that you can bring to the next tailgate.
I'm going to go cancel my McDonald's Uber Eats because now I feel pressure to go cook something good.
You know you're going to go try that chicken Big Mac.